And speaking of big fights, of course, here in Dallas, July 27th, Maurice Hooker, Jose Ramirez, huge unification fight. I think it's hard to put into words how boxing is rising, is getting really hot, and we're able to see big fights like this one. How proud of you to be able to put it on the zone?
Really proud. This is, like, as a fan, I'm so excited about this fight, and I'm excited because, a bit like we talk about the Ruiz-Joshua rematch or the Taylor-Persoon rematch, you never know for sure what's going to happen in this fight. Mo's our guy. Right, Maurice Hooker. We signed him. He was one of the first people we signed. I'm incredibly proud of him. And on July 27, in his hometown, he gets a chance to become a star in a fight against a brilliant fighter in Jose Ramirez, WBC world champion. Huge Mexican support. We've seen it in Fresno. We've seen it wherever he boxes. You know, and this is just the ultimate test. These are the fights that, as a promoter and as a fan, you just can't wait for. And the momentum on DAZN is so strong. You know, last week was a massive week for DAZN. Like, not just the broadcast itself, but the ripple effects after. That has gone everywhere, right? So we want to produce key moments every month for subscribers. You know, in May, you had Canelo against against Danny Jacobs. On June the 1st, you had Joshua Ruiz. On June the 8th, you got Canelo. End of June, you got Andrade against Selecki. Now, July 27, you've got a big unification matchup as well. So we want to be the home of boxing. And we want to thank Top Rank as well, because, you know, they let us do this fight. And sometimes the offer is so good and the opportunity is so good for the fighter that you've got to let them take it. They believe they can win the fight, and Jose Ramirez will return to ESPN with 2 belts. We want to make sure they stay on DAZN and with Maurice Hooker. But July 27, College Park, Arlington. It's just going to be a brilliant night, and I think one of the best matchups of 2019 so far.
It absolutely is a great matchup. It's a 50-50 fight, the best facing the best. What does Maurice Hooker have to do to come out victorious?
He's the kind of guy, he's really deceiving. You know, he really rises to the challenge, Maurice Hooker. And sometimes when it's not a challenge, he don't really rise to it. You know, you saw against Darlis Perez, or even his last fight, and then you see against Saucedo and Terry Flanagan where he's up against it, he excels. And he'll be up against it in this fight. And I think with being in his hometown, although there'll be a lot of Mexican support, I think he's got to just keep it long. He punches harder than people think. He's technically better than people think. But Ramirez has great work rate. You know, he can punch himself as well. It's just all action from the first round. I cannot wait.
And of course, we have another unification coming up later on this year between Regis Prograis and Josh Taylor. There's already talks. The winner of that fight wants to face, of course, the winner of Maurice Hooker versus Jose Ramirez. Is that possible? How likely is that?
Yeah, I mean, look, you've got Regis Prograis, who has been boxing on DAZN through the Super Series and would come to DAZN as well. If Maurice can win, it's a big DAZN undisputed fight. If Jose wins, it'll be on ESPN. So there's a lot in play at the moment, but that's what we want. No, we want to determine one champion in every weight class. That's what I want anyway. And it's great. Champions should want to face each other. And when they're on the same network, it's quite easy to make it happen. This is a unique example where we have 2 champions from other networks getting it on for the fans on July 27th.
Can I get your prediction on this fight? Maurice Hooker versus Jose Ramirez. How do you see the fight playing out?
I actually think Hooker will stop him late on. You know, I just think that Ramirez is always there. He's always in your face. Maurice punches a lot harder than people think. It's by no means a foregone conclusion. Very, very tough fight. But yeah, I think Maurice is going to surprise a lot of people on July 27th.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you want to see more boxing coverage, make sure to subscribe by clicking right here. And don't forget to follow Fino Boxing on all our social media platforms.